And we welcome you back to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center here on the campus of LSU. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Victor Howell. Welcome to Baton Rouge, sites for round 1 and round 2 of the Baton Rouge Regional. In the NCAA tournament, we are pleased to be joined by 3 players from UNLV. To my immediate left is Desiree Young. Next to Desiree Young, we have Justice Etheridge. And on the far end of the table, we have Essence Booker. Just so we know, for the media here in person, UNLV's locker room is open and will be open until 2:35 Central Time this afternoon. We'll be joined in about 15, 20 minutes by the head coach before the team gets onto the floor for practice. Ladies, welcome to Baton Rouge. Congratulations on your season to this point. Something very unique, Desiree, I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind starting with a question. There's only 3 players in the country that are averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, and 2 of those 3 are here in this regional. Angel Reese for LSU, and yourself. You knew you were going to be facing a lot of the defenses, getting all the attention. How have you been able to keep up that consistency this year? And congratulations.
Thank you. I give all the shout out to my team, them being able to just feed me the ball, making the right play to me. We faced a lot of adversity this year, especially me being double teamed in the post. So me being able to make those extra passes, repost, I really give all the, glory to my team.
Justice and Essence, you all can both answer this. Justice, I'll ask you first. You come in 31-2 on a 22-game win streak. So you haven't lost in the calendar year of 2023. A lot of teams might get a little complacent when you're winning and just think it automatically comes. How have you all been able to keep that focus and keep the success that you've built up since that loss to Oklahoma State running to where we are today?
I think we've been really good with just keeping the past games in the past and just trying to look forward at what we have ahead of us. And I know everybody starts off 0-0 now, so we're just ready for whatever comes up next.
I feel like it's kind of easy for us to just flip to a new chapter. Season, we went undefeated. Then we flipped to a new chapter in the conference tournament and wanted to go 3-0 there. So just starting here new and want to go 1-0 tomorrow. Just being able to flip to a new chapter and leave the past in the past, as Justice said.
Very good. Appreciate your answers. We do have several people that are joining us via Zoom. So if you do have a question, please click the raise hand button on your Zoom screen, and we will get to you and open up your microphone for a question. With that, we will open up the questions for the media here in person in Baton Rouge. If you do have a question, please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you, and here we go.
All right, it's 24 hours until tip-off tomorrow. Desi, what has this week been like for you here at LSU and your preparation for tomorrow?
I think our preparation's been great. I think we've really been super aggressive in practice. I think that's something that we talk about all the time. It's just being aggressive, being able to start out strong. I think we're doing a great job with the scout and just focusing and dialing in.
Essence, after a week of practice and film, what do you guys kind of know about Michigan?
Trying to get our scout. Nah. Honestly, they're a great team. Props to them and their coach. They're very well coached. But, we're going to play every team how we play, how they draw it up and how the coach wants us to play them. But, honestly, they're a great offensive-minded team. They got some height on us, so they're very tall. But we just need to go in there. We need to execute. We need to rebound. And we got to try to run on them.
What's different about this team than last year? What do you feel like you're more prepared, and how are you approaching this tournament compared to how you did last year?
I feel like last year, we've been there, so this year we got that advantage. We've been there before. We know what it takes to get there. I think we're familiar with the atmosphere, and I feel like that's a big difference from last year, just getting our toes wet last year. But this year, we want to go further than we did. We don't just want to be excited to be here. We want to get past that first game.
Hi, Evan Easterling, New York Times. For all 3 of you, what does it mean to be doing what you've been doing at UNLV as people from Las Vegas?
I think it's just really special, just to have changed the program for the better and just being successful and having our friends and family just be able to come out and support us. And just the city of Las Vegas has been really good coming out, and I think it's just great.
About basketball accolades, obviously, we made history at UNLV with Lindy. We changed the program around, and it's something that we're always going to remember, not only with each other, but with Las Vegas as well. And for me, it's bigger than basketball. It's about my family, being a role model, making sure that others could see what we have created so they could try to be a part of it as well.
Just take a piece of that history. I think me coming in as a freshman and Coach Lindy also being, her first year, I think we did a great job that, my freshman year, and then just along the way, we've just been thriving ever since. Just like Essence said, I do it for the community as well. I think Las Vegas is, underrated for its basketball talents and things like that, but I think we've done a great job putting, UNLV, women's basketball in Las Vegas in general on the map.
What are some of the ways that opposing teams this year have tried to keep you from getting the ball down low, and what do you expect Michigan to maybe try tomorrow?
They double team, triple team, even sometimes they front. I expect Michigan to do all of that, and in my opinion, it doesn't really matter about any of that because, if they stop one person, there's 4 other people out there who can get the job done.
The same question from your perspective. You're the one trying to get her the ball a lot of the time. What have you seen from defenses this year? What do you have planned to maybe if Michigan tries to take her away or if they throw something at you? How important is it to keep Desi involved and to get her the ball in her spots?
For me, I feel like we've seen the bag full of tricks, to be honest. A lot of different things I probably haven't seen in my entire career. But it's hard to stop a walking double-double. I mean, she is a walking double-double, and she's going to get a double-double tomorrow. And for me as a point guard, I try to make sure we get her going, whether she has 0 points within the first 2 minutes or 0 points within the last couple minutes. I try to make sure I call a play, whether Lindy called it or not, just to get the ball in Desi's hands because that's where it belongs.
For Justice and Essence, just what would an NCAA tournament win mean for you guys as seniors?
I think it would be very special. I don't know if UNLV has in the last maybe decade, so I think it would be really cool. And for it to be both of our senior years, we want to go out on top and just get as far as we can and keep playing as long as we can.
I mean, I feel like we sparked a fire and everyone just, UNLV being in everyone's conversation recently, not just since last year, but this year especially. So just being able to have that NCAA win, I mean, again, we're not going to forget about it. And we don't just want to be here. I mean, we want to win. So just to send that message around.
During this streak, it seems like, several different people have had a moment, like someone has a moment in one game, someone has a moment in another game. What do you think that just says about your team that, kind of game to game, it could be a different person?
I mean, I think it shows that, we're a really unstoppable team. Anyone's capable. I mean, take Alyssa Fresquez. I mean, she's a shooter. When no one stops her and she gets going, it's hard to stop her and stop her streak. I mean, Justice as well. Justice gets downhill super fast. Essence pushes the ball in transition. I'm in the post, offensive rebounding. So is Alyssa Brown. I think we all just bring something different to the table, and everyone can't stop everyone some games.
Desi, the Michigan players came out here and said they really want to start fast and they want to put you guys under a lot of pressure. What I guess is your guys' goals for the start, and what kind of identity do you want to impose on the game?
I mean, our identity is playing in and out. So we love to go inside. We love to score more paints inside. I think we play fast as well. I mean, our transition offense is our best offense. I think we do a good job executing our plays and getting the ball on the rim just so we can offensive rebound as well. I think they want to play fast, but we want to play under control. We want to play at our pace, and we want to control our own destiny.
For Essence, I guess you guys get this practice coming up, and then, you've got some time before tip-off tomorrow. Any team rituals or personal things that you maybe do before the game to, to get you locked in or get you ready to play?
I don't think there's really any team rituals. I feel like Lindy and the coaching staff does a great job of giving us our space before the game to do what we need to do personally. But for me, I just try to take time to myself. If I have any questions about the scout, then obviously I'm not prepared. So I try to prepare myself that way. And just get my mind under control because it's more of a mind game than a basketball game, honestly.
Point. Best of luck tomorrow. We remind you that UNLV will face Michigan tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central Time in Game 1 in the Baton Rouge Regional. UNLV's locker room is open until 2:35. They will start their practice at 2:50. We will be back here in about 8 minutes with UNLV's head coach. Until then, Welcome again to Baton Rouge, and good luck tomorrow. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back at 2:25. Good afternoon. We welcome you back to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center on the campus of LSU, the Baton Rouge Regional. Game 1 tomorrow, 2 o'clock, has UNLV going up against Michigan, and it is my pleasure to be joined by UNLV head coach Lindy La Rocque. We'll have a couple of questions for her. We'll open it up to the media. Again, if you are joining us via Zoom, if you have a question for the coach, you can just hit the raise hand button on your Zoom, and we will come to you. For the media here in person, remember UNLV's locker room is open for 15 more minutes. Coach, congratulations so far on the season. Welcome to Baton Rouge. I'm sure a lot of coaches would like to know what you bottled up on December 18th after that loss, because you haven't lost since. I had a chance to ask some of your players, but I wanted to talk to you about being able to keep that focus and not get complacent when you're putting together a win streak like what you're on right now.
Yeah, that game feels like it was a while ago, and
And
it
it
kind
was last year.
It was. I think the biggest thing is, and we had this even before that game, and really have kind of kept it all year. And our motto is our most important game is the next game. And we haven't just said it, but we've lived it and prepared for it and then played like it. And I think that's really why we are where we're at and have a streak going and have won a lot of games. Obviously, it starts with our staff of being disciplined and setting a great game plan. And then it's obviously the players carrying it out and living that, our most important game is the next one. And it obviously couldn't be more true now.
Well, it's certainly conference play and then the tournament. And when you look at some of the games you've played, you had a lot of big wins, but also in there are wins by 5, by 1, by 6, by 3. So there have been some challenges.
Sure.
What did the team learn about itself, or what did you learn about the team in those close games, yet they were still able to find a way to get the win?
Yeah, obviously we were able to go undefeated in the regular season and then the conference, and a lot of people say, oh, you've been dominating, and that just hasn't been the case. We've been able to win close games. I think the biggest thing is this team knows how to win. We have a great belief and trust in each other, and when the game is close and tight, they don't panic. They are really composed and poised and look at each other and look at me, and it's like, how are we going to win this game? And then they go out there and execute. So I think that's the biggest thing of they've got the experience of their winners, and they know how to win and pull out some close games. And I think also we've been able to, take those lessons from those close games of, we're never going to give a win back, and we are excited to have every single one, but they all gave us something different to improve upon. So we continued to get better, and even in a win, it's harder you have to have an experienced team to be able to win and still practice the next day like you lost, to improve on those things. And it didn't feel good all the time for them, and they didn't love me for that most of the time, but they did it.
And with that, we will open up for questions from the media for Coach. Again, if you're joining us via Zoom and you have a question, please hit the raise hand button. For those here in person, if you'll raise your hand, because we do want to bring a microphone to you. And with that, we'll open it up.
24 hours away from tip-off tomorrow against Michigan. What have you seen from your team so far here in Baton Rouge?
Just a great focus and attention to detail, and a look in their eye like they want to do something. It is nice to know that we're 24 hours. It's kind of felt like we've been waiting for this game for all week, because we have. But now, especially that we're close, I think our game plan is set. They know it. They're bought into it. We've practiced it, and now it's just kind of about staying loose and ready to play for tomorrow.
Your first NCAA tournament as a mom with your baby here and your family here. How special has it been for you to have your family here?
It's just so, this season in general has been so extremely special. Obviously, I have a new lens now, being a mom and having Ellie around just really kind of keeps that in the forefront. But, for all of our players and our families, that are able to travel and the ones aren't, that's what makes what we do special, the journey special, is being able to share it with the people that we love. And so that's no different for me and my family.
Lindy, you said you'd never been to Louisiana before this. Just kind of how has the build-up to this been, and how have you guys enjoyed Louisiana so far?
Well, maybe we brought this great weather. I don't know if it's like this all the time, but the weather has been amazing. So I see some people shaking their heads. So maybe we'll just not – hopefully I don't turn the tides here tonight. But it's been great. You know, we're staying at a great hotel. The hospitality here has been awesome for our team. You know, we had some great seafood last night, so the food has been good. And, you know, obviously we're happy to be here, and it's been awesome we went and saw the tiger, and so, you know, everyone's really excited. So we're, you know, amidst, you know, it being a business trip, we like to have fun and enjoy where we're at and let our team experience new places and new things. So, you know, it's no different for this trip.
You know, a different focus we're seeing, kind of a different hunger we're seeing from Essence Booker and Desiree Young. And like she said, you know, we're not happy to be here. We want to win. What kind of different hunger are you seeing this time around from your seniors?
They're just really determined, you know, and I think they've had that with them really in the last few months. And, you know, that's them taking some ownership over the team. This is their team, you know, and obviously I'm coaching them and helping steer the ship, but especially for Essence, like, this is her team as the point guard, as the leader, as the senior, and she wants to do everything that she can for her team and help everyone be prepared and be successful on the court. And Desi's no different, and Justice is quiet, but she's got that same hunger too. And they've all bought in for each other, and that's not something that, you know, I create. I maybe give them the platform to do that with each other, but, you know, that's great leadership.
Is there maybe a moment this season that you could point to when you as a team kind of knew that you could go on this run and win all these games in a row and get to this moment again?
I mean, there's a lot of different moments, you know, some of those close games, even early on. You know, it was our second conference game when we won in overtime at Colorado State, and we had to have a couple late game plays, and it seems like that, and that was still in last year. That was, you know, New Year's Eve, actually. So, you know, once we were able to, like, do that, and that was, again, pretty quickly after, you know, our most recent loss. And then there's a couple of different points throughout the conference season when we played really well. We did an Air Force New Mexico road trip, which was like a really big road trip, a tough road trip, and just played really well. And I was like, whoa, you know, this is pretty good. And, you know, so there's maybe a couple different key moments, but overall we try to just keep our head down and keep working, and then, you know, maybe next month I'll look at that.
Coach, we talked with Desi a little bit about how she faces double teams, triple teams quite often. How has that experience prepared her, you know, for March now that she's in the tournament?
Yeah, you know, our team isn't, you know, they're aware that probably the other team's game plan is going to center around Desi, as it should. If I was playing us, that's what it would be. And so they have to have some sort of plan. And we've seen different people do it throughout the year, a double team, a heavy sag, you know, trying to be physical, trying to get her in foul trouble, different things. So, you know, I think the biggest thing is Desi has grown so much and being patient down there, of, you know, not getting frustrated, of, you know, still working really hard even if she isn't getting the ball, because it's opening up something else. And she really, you know, we praise her for that. And then when she does get the ball, she's grown tremendously in her passing ability out of a double team, facing up, making plays, driving and kick, and she's got a great touch on her shot. You know, so she's gotten really good at kind of reading that defense quickly and making a quick decision and a quick move and being pretty efficient at it. So, you know, she's grown a lot in that area. And again, like she said, it's a product of her team finding her, you know, and being open and knocking down shots when she is commanding that double team, and still keeping the main thing. The main thing is we're going inside.
Kim Barnes-Rico said that you guys play like a Big Ten team. What does that kind of mean to you?
Well, I'm not sure. I would love to know what she means by that. I think she probably means that she's given us a lot of respect, which you
we're grateful for. I mean, she's a heck of a coach, and she's been there a few years and had some really good teams, and there's really good teams in the Big Ten. So I imagine that's what she's referencing. I haven't played in the league, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs, but I would imagine it's coming from a place of respect, and that we've got talent. Sometimes teams, yes, we have Desi, but we've got, other people out there that can make just as many plays, so it's not, you can't just not guard people out there.
Has a lot of length, especially at the guard spots. I think their shortest guard is 2 inches taller than Justice.
Yeah.
What do you guys do to kind of counter that?
They are really long, especially at the guard spot, and I think that'll be an adjustment for us early on. Obviously, we can't practice that because we don't have anyone out there. That's hard for us to replicate and practice. So I think it'll be a little bit of an adjustment for our guards just early on in the game. But I think we're not just. You don't just change what you do because they've got a little bit of length, So our guards are still going to look to attack the basket, obviously shoot when they're open, and then I think again, first 2, 5, 10 minutes, we'll be able to make kind of it's more of a feeling thing of how quickly do I need to get my shot off, some of the spacing stuff that once you kind of get in the game, I think our team will be able to just make those adjustments.
Lindy, your message to your team tonight.
Our biggest game of the year is tomorrow, and we're excited. We're prepared. We really, really respect our opponent. They are very good, but we are worthy to be here as well, and to be on the court. And so, let's go out and play well and play together. I think if we're aggressive, and we play hard and we play together, it can be a really exciting game.
Hi, Lindy, Evan Easterling, New York Times. What does it mean to you to have led this program to where it is as someone from Las Vegas?
Yeah, being born and raised in Las Vegas and being a Rebel my whole life, that was, the first team that I ever cheered for before, Las Vegas had all the pro sports. This is just an extremely special opportunity. I still, kind of talk with my family. I'm like, can you believe I'm the head coach of the Lady Rebels? Can you believe that? And here we are. Obviously, when I took this job, I had a vision because I've seen what, UNLV can do and has done, the tradition of basketball in town. And it's really special to help put this into fruition for our city, for our community. It's such a privilege to serve and honor our community by being in this position and creating a program and building this program to the level that it's at. I carry that with me everywhere because I'm just a basketball coach, but it's really special to do it for Las Vegas when I am Las Vegas.
We have time for one more question.
Right over here. You and Desi entered the program at the same time. She seemed very stoic up here, and then when I went to the locker room and talked to her, she's looking at your bag of goodies. It's like you have the Tonys, you have the red beans in there.
Yeah.
And you could see her personality come out more. Can you speak to the leader that she's been in this team and how you've seen it grow from her as a freshman to now?
Yeah. We've done a really good job of coaching Desi of how to be up here on this dais and in front of a microphone. But you get her in the locker room or on the court, and you get to see her personality. And what you see is what you get with Desi, which is probably the best thing. She is, unapologetically herself. She is passionate and enthusiastic, and just a ball of energy in everything that she does. And for our team, we thrive off of that. Essence is our brain, but Desi is our energy. And when you've got two of them like that, then that's how we've had a pretty good team. But we go as Desi goes, especially from a passion and energy. We need her energy plays, and she's got such a high motor. She doesn't get tired, and so if you watch the first 15 minutes of practice, you'll see that too. Half the time I'm going to be like, all right, Desi, let's get serious.
Scott Rappley with the Advocate here in town. In the women's tournament, you've seen the format go from home court sites like this in the early rounds to neutral sites back to home court sites. Are you okay with the way it's formatted now? And I know you're a double-digit seed, but would you like for a team with your kind of record to have a better chance to host, to be able to play at home, in the first round?
I'm happy to be a double-digit seed and not face a team on their home court like we did last year. I think there's just our game is continuing to grow. I understand that the host sites and how that is productive for the games, for both games. I mean, I know LSU has such a great fan base. I hope they're there for our game, and I know it's at 2:00 on a Friday, but I'm sure they can get a hall pass or something and get out of work early a little bit. But I hope there's a great crowd for our game. We know it's going to be packed for the LSU game, right, and sold out. But so I think there's some good things that come from that. And maybe that's I don't have the answer to it, but maybe that's the right thing to do right now. But as our game continues to grow and build, maybe we evolve away from it, and that wouldn't be the worst thing either. I think it would create different challenges, but I am definitely excited to play Michigan on what's a neutral court for this first game. I think it would be much. We did that last year of playing Arizona on the home court, and we felt it. We played really well, but we felt it.
Well, you might find out tomorrow that Fridays in Baton Rouge are optional, so hopefully the crowd does show up. However, the reason why we do play basketball indoors, 100% chance of rain tomorrow, temperatures dropping to the 40s. So if anybody has complaints, meteorologist Lindy La Rocque, you can send your comments. Coach, congratulations on the year to this point. Best of luck to you tomorrow in your game. UNLV's practice will start in 10 minutes. The first 15 minutes will be open for the media that are here locally. We will be back with you at 3:45 with the players from Hawaii to talk about their game with LSU. Until then, we thank you very much for joining us here in Baton Rouge.